Hello, welcome to our PHP Laravel SMS alert and event reminder series. In today's video, which is part 5, we will be taking the next step in our journey. If you missed any of our previous videos, make sure to catch up on those first to get up to speed. In this episode, we are going to dive into the specifics of creating a table to manage our SMS alert, defining the necessary columns and models, creating the controller to handle the SMS sending logic, and configuring our Nano SMS gateway for our alerts. Let's get started by setting up the database to manage our SMS alerts. So, open up your Laravel project and create a migration SMS alert. In my case, this is where I have my Laravel project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the folder and put it into my test editor, which is VS Code. So now that I've opened my VS Code, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for everything to load perfectly fine as I want it to. Alright, so let's run the PHP artisan self command to see what we did the last time. Okay. Alright, so in our last video, we prepared the UI for entering a new user or a new member. So in this video, I'm going to create the controller, as we said, the migrations also. So I would want you to open another terminal by pressing on this plus button. So let's write a command to create a migration. We are going to name it membership registration. Alright, so our migration is created successfully. Let's go and find where we can find our migration. In order for you to find your migration, you have to navigate to database. In the database, you're going to see migrations and you're going to see what we just created. It's migrations. In this migration, we are going to define the columns we need for our SMS alert, including recipient phone number, the role, and the name as well. So let's get on with it. Okay, so I'm going to write this block of code to create our table. So here we'll have our table name, the name we want to give to our table. So we are going to name it membership registration. We call our function
Power off.
Now you will have to terminate it to prevent any error. Alright, so let's define our columns. So we are going to define our columns. Our first column is going to be the ID. So in here you give the data type. Here is the data type, and In it, we are going to give the name of the column. So here we are taking string called name, and here we are going to create another string called number, right? When we come down here, we'll create the type of enum, and our enum will be called the row. So in our row, we are going to have multiple rows. As I said earlier on in the previous video, mine is purposely for a church. So I don't know for what yours you'd want to customize it to be. So based on what you want it to use, what you want to use it for, you set the rules accordingly, right? Okay. So I have usher in my situation. I'm going to have ushers, right? I'm going to have media. I'm going to have members as well. Okay. So don't forget to terminate it. And you have to give it a default value. So in our situation, the default value is going to be a member. Remember, I'm going to have new members. Right. Okay. In here, I'm going to have our table timestamp. Okay. Let's terminate it with my engineer. Okay. So after defining the migrations, you would want to run PHP artisan migrate to create the SMS table in our database. So let's go back to our terminal. The shortcut of opening your terminal is Windows machine Control plus J, and your terminal is going to open. So I'm going to CLS and run this command with me. We've already migrated before. Okay, yes, let's migrate. All right, so we've successfully migrated. So let's see what we're having in our data. Okay, so open your favorite browser. I know you've already started your XAMPP. I know by now you know that in order for you to run your PHP or your Laravel project successfully, you would have to run your XAMPP to avoid any error or any bug. Okay, any runtime bug or any runtime error. So now that you have your XAMPP on, I would want you to press on this in the Apache. You want to press on the admin, and you have the access to the admin dashboard. But that's not what we want. We want the PHP admin. So now you have your PHP admin here. Let's see what we have. So scrolling down, let's see the name of the table first. Let's see. Hope I took you through how to create a table, right? Okay. So I'm sorry. So here, let's see what we have. Okay, members. But that's not what we want. We want the member migration. So this is the table that we just created, and you can see our records, our columns are visible here. So initially they are empty, so we are going to link it to our view where the user can input the record and insert it directly without coming to the backend. Okay. Now that we've set our table, let's create a model for our SMS alert. This model will allow us to interact with our SMS alert table in our database. Okay, well, in order for you to make your model, you want to run this command also. PHP to the make model, and we are going to give it a name of membership registration model, right? Okay, press enter. So now our model has been created successfully. Let's see where we can find our model. So your model can be found in your app. Go down to models and you can see your model here. All right. So now our model is initially empty. We would want to connect our model to the table that we just created. So write this block of code protected table and you give the table name, which is you want to terminate it. Now we are going to define the fillable columns, right? So I would want you to go to your table, your registration table, and choose this, and go to your membership model, membership registration model. Okay, so now that we have this at our side, we can know what we want. All right, so I would want you to write this code too as well, the protected, and we want it. It's a column, fillable column. It's an array, right? So the fillable column is an array of what? Of name, number, and row. So this is all what we want. Initially, this is what we want. So let's save it. Okay, so now that we have successfully created or handled our membership registration table and model, let's get on and start working on creating a controller. Sorry. All right, so we are done with this task. Push it out. So our next task is create a controller for what we want. Okay. So let's create our controller. Now next we are going to create a more controller that will handle the sending of the SMS alert using the Nano SMS gateway. So open your terminal and then type this code, this command, make controller and the name of your controller. So in our situation, the name of our controller is going to be membership controller. All right, so we have our controller created. So we would want to go to our route in our web and see something here. Okay, I think we already have a membership controller, but it's empty. Okay, so our previous video we created membership controller. Okay. No problem. In our country, there is a saying that goes like this. It's in Chi. And I'm the draw and same point. So we have many controllers. It's going to make our project much more simple and visible to read. Okay, so let's search our membership controller. Registration. Okay, so this is our membership controller. What we are going to do is, in the project, so in the project, when the user makes press on this add member, uh, he has to be registered. His details has to be registered or picked up and saved into the database. So we are going to handle this. We are going to change this input field to a select option. This particular input field to select option. But for now, we are going to maintain it like this. So in our next video, we will be changing the UI because we have to customize certain things here like the title, the logo, and some things like here we don't need them. We are going to handle that task in the next video. But in this particular video, we are just going to focus on how to register the user successfully. Okay. I want you to go to our view, right? In other words, our UI. In order to see your view, you want to go to the resources and navigate to view. So when you navigate to views, you will see the pages, and then you choose the register member. So this is where you register a member. You can see our form here. Yeah. So now let's give our input field their respective names. When here, we'll give it a name called row, right? And when we come down here, we would want to name this the name. And when we come down here to, we would want to give this one a name number. And change this button type to the submit button. Okay, so now that we have this, we would want to define a route that will handle the registration of the user. We would want to visit your web. You can find your web here in the resources and web.php. Okay, so there are many methods. When you want to get or retrieve data from the database, we use the get method. But then when you want to insert into the database, we use the post. When you want to delete from the database, we use the delete method. And when you want to edit from the database, we use the put method. So in a situation, which method are we going to use? It's a question. Please pause the video and answer it. And let's see if you had it correct. So the answer to that question is we are going to use the post method, right? Okay. So in here we will define a route. We'll give the post method. So what will be the name of the URL? We are going to give it a name of save member. And we are going to point it to the member controller, the one that we already created. Member controller, and you have a class. It's a class rather. So you have a function called save member info. We are going to give this route a name of save member as well. Member info. Right, so you've successfully defined your route. So initially we don't have any function called save member info. So let's define that to prevent any bug. Yeah. You go to your member controller and you define that particular function by typing this code public function. You give the name of the function. I'm going to call it save info. In our situation, I'm not going to return any value. So this function is taking a parameter. We are going to assign a parameter to this function, which is a request, because we're going to make a request from the user, right? Okay, we're going to request info from the user. So now let's just return whatever that the user inputs. and let's see if what we just wrote is just correct. So we're going to write this command, this code to get whatever that the user inputted. So we see that we're on the right path or not. Let's see. In order for this whole process to work, we define our route. You want to go to your UI and look for your form. This is your form, right? You would want to give the action, what action, and state the method. So in our situation, we said we're using the post method, right? And give the token to it. CSRF. Yeah. So don't forget to add this token to it. Otherwise, I'm going to get an error, a runtime error. Okay, so there's the action, right? So our action, we want to point to the route, and that route has a controller connected to it. So we will write this inbuilt method called the route, and we would, the name was what? I just copied the name from here. So what I'm having here, that's what I copied and place it there. Sorry, and place it there. Okay, so let's run our code to see. We are going to get an error, but I want you to see the error so that you learn from it, right? Okay, so let's see our error. We are expecting an error to come. So we are all hoping for our error. So let's refresh and see what we have. Okay, this is the error that we are expecting. Save member info not defined. So in order for us to resolve that error, we need to run one last command, which is the optimize command. No, the route that we just defined was not seen in our level configuration. So the moment you run optimize, it's more like you are refreshing the codes, the whole code block. So let's go and refresh our page again to see if we are going to get the same error again. And you can see the error is resolved. Alright, so we have to make some field required. Initially, these fields are not required, so you can see now. And let's just put something there to see faster. I'll give here a name called coffee, and the mobile number is going to be any random mobile number. Let's see. Okay, so you can see that we are getting our role and our name and our number. So congratulations to you. You've been able to configure. You've been able to accept a record from the input field in the front end. Yeah, this is a big progress. Okay, so we don't want to display the record that the user inputted, right? We want to save it into our database. In order for us to save it into our database, there are several methods of saving records into the database. I'm going to teach you the first method. So as we proceed, we are going to touch most of the methods, right? Okay, so we're going to create a variable called members. In this member variable, we are going to give whatever we are getting from the form. We're going to assign it to it. Okay, so this is very something that everybody has to learn. Whenever you are writing a code to handle attacks, it's very advisable to put it in a try and a catch block so that you can catch any error that you face, right? Okay, so now that we have this, so we are going to try. So if this commands, if everything runs successfully, we want to get a records and save it into our membership registration controller and membership registration model. We want to add a create method, and in the create method we want to get whatever that is in here. We want to create. Okay, so let's go down here and see. Yet we want to get exception. Any error that I'm going to get, we want to assign it to a variable called the e, and we will return back with an error message. So initially we are in a debugging state, so we want to get the actual error. We want to see whatever we are going to get, like what the error is actually about. Yeah. So when it's successful to, we want to return the user back with a success message that says register successfully. It's a successful. Okay, so let's test what we have here to see if everything is working perfectly fine. So I want you to refresh, and the role is going to be faster. Member name, let me choose this name, and the mobile number, let me choose this guy. So let's save and see what we have. Okay, we've not handled our messages like the error messages and the success message. We are going to do that in our upcoming video. So let's see what we have here. Let's see if our record was successfully saved or not. So there's the name of our database. And we have membership registration. So you can see that our data has been saved successfully. So congratulations to you, you've been able to register, create a simple create in lab or PHP lab. Okay, so let's go to the next task. Our next task is going to be, now let's configure the Nalo SMS gateway for our level application. Nalo is a reliable service that allows us to send SMS message seamlessly. So here we are going to set up our API credentials and configurations. The sender name, make sure to replace this with your. So let's continue. In here, I want you to open your favorite web browser and type Nalo Solutions. Nalo. I'm going to put the link to this web page in the video description. Okay. So it's a Ghana-based company that helps that provides SMS APIs for a cool price. I'll recommend it for each and everyone watching this particular tutorial. If you're in Ghana, it favors you a lot because you get opportunity to pay for the service via your Momo. So initially, this is the page that you will be welcome to. You would want to press on this login button to log in. Okay, so when you press on the login, you'll be taken or you'll be redirected to this page. I already have an account with them. I signed up with my Google account, so I can log in with my Google account. So you can register with your Facebook or your Google account.